Coach, thank you. We have playoff football and bone-chilling playoff football at that in the city of brotherly love at Lincoln Financial Field. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. One of these teams will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks' time. Which will it be as we're underway in the NFC title game?
Squeeze, double.
Wentz now on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route, the drag, and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Right there in the middle, 55. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Undercrush. Great. Chance. Quick that.
Hey, Ford, Tokyo!
Wentz now to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run. So the same tandem connecting on back-to-back throws to start the game.
And maybe throwing the scouting report off just a little bit. That's not exactly what they think is going to be their number one receiver, but he's producing already early in this game.
Check safety.
Bunch.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 41-yard line.
There we go, back. 180!
Hey, watch the slant.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz. Over the middle, it's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter.
Man 5-7.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. And he connects with Ertz. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 20-yard line. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his...
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Ready. 18, Gator.
Hey, here we go. Watch the pass.
And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. To throw is Wentz. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, You enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Wentz looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early. The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And we'll see what he can do on the return. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
82. Hey, wahoo! Greystone travel.
54. Mike 54.
On 1st down, Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. On play action, Wentz looking deep downfield. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. 62 yards. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. On this stage, conference championship game, every play is magnified, and that was a big play.
No doubt about it. One thing that has these guys a step away from a shot at a big game, their big play ability. They can strike from anywhere.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra.
Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there.
Watch the eye.
Run. 657.
Check 99. Check.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
There we go. Pac-Man. 120.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Here we go. 280.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
Check.
Check hot route. Hot. Watch out.
Bang. Hey, empty. 14, 82, 14. 61, matchbox lights. 54.
Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Flush to his right. And an alley. And a loose football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line.
We've got plenty of weather here today. We've got some snow going on, and they've come out of a dome. And there have been 2 ways of getting ready for this. Some have said, don't worry about the weather. Just practice in your normal conditions and handle it on game day. And others have said, find some weather, find some conditions somewhere, and try and get ready. What do you think?
Well, whatever the preparation there, the snow causing the fumble. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Switch.
Go to 54, Ryan.
Watch the ship. Check the backer. Check 3.
On 2nd down now. It's Elliott. And despite the good footwork, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
To the right side and complete to Hurst. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab as they are now on the board here in the first half. That, of course, all set up by the big run on the play prior. They took advantage right away with the touchdown throw.
And you mentioned advantage, probably taking advantage of their natural instinct after that previous play. to be aggressive and rush towards the line of scrimmage. And instead, they were vulnerable to the pass. In just about every special teams meeting, there's a discussion with the punter about his importance. Why? He can flip the field for your team defensively, move it deep into their own territory, or if you're backed up on offense, and he can hit a big punt and change field position and help his defense. In this case, though, field position got flipped by the return team. You can do it so many different ways on special teams.
Here's Wentz to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And this one complete to Will Fuller. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So plenty of leg, but it's the accuracy there that lets him down.
Yeah, he hit it really well. I think this might have been good from 55, but you'll see it just conk off that upright, and they're denied a chance at 3 points.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 7 yards there and a first down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
This is Elliott. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a throw complete to his fullback out of the backfield, and he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Prescott from the gun. He's got a first down and more inside the 30, and he'll be taken down at the 26. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
Let's go, D. Kill.
Prescott on first down. Buying time to his left. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. This will be caught inside the 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
At their own 25-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. You're down 3 under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But, boy, getting into field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
Wentz now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10.
Sunday.
54. Check tight end. Check tight. Check tight. Check. Fresno. 20.
Kill.
25. Check 25. Slam.
Wait, son.
Shotgun now for Wentz. His throw incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time, but it's going to be 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing is Wentz. It's complete to Fuller. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. The 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
Hey, kill. Hey, 4 kill.
Watch out. Check, Mike.
Hey, Haywood.
Again, it's Wentz. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we've reached halftime here in the NFC Championship as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. This is taken about 7 yards deep. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Prescott. It's caught. Cooper. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. Third and long for Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. His first catch in this NFC Championship game, and it's a 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wentz, open man is Higgins. And this is good for a 1st down, his 2nd grab of this NFC Championship bout.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They will get 4 yards here on the 1st down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 36-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Let's get that ball, King. Let's get that ball.
Let's kill.
44 to Mike. 44 to Mike. Check.
Now they try the right side here. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down and 6.
First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down.
Mike,
Hey, Zoo.
55. Here we go, G. Hey, just
From the gun, it's Wentz. He finds his target, Fuller. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down. Wentz now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10.
alert 3. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up. Hatch it. Check nickel.
On play action, it's Wentz. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
74. Hang in there now.
To throw, it's Wentz. This pass complete to Higgins. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 18.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54.
Sunday.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
They'll run with Sanders. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. They'll come out in the pistol. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. A 3-yard touchdown run. And once again, the Eagles are back out in front.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
At the 29-yard line.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Elliott. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox, a milestone sack for him as it moves him past Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor, who finished his career with 132.5. 1 quarter remains until the NFC crowns its champion. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And he fields it cleanly. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Mark that down as a punt return of 78 yards. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. So they boost their advantage here in the 4th quarter. And don't get me wrong, you take the points. I guess the only downside is didn't really get to milk any of the clock here in this last quarter.
But they'll take the points because, as you and I both know, here in the 4th quarter, things intensify. And while they may not have taken firm command of the game, it does give them a little bit of a cushion.
Here we go. Here we go.
At their own 19-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that?
Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth-quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they just had that pick-6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Well, we'll see if they can do it here. First down run with Elliott, going to go for about 4. 2nd and 6 coming up. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Here go 46.
From the 44, Prescott nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage that time by Malcolm Butler. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
56.
Then we're going to 53.
I got you. Whip. Watch the whip. Shoot.
The Cowboys will go. Prescott. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Super Bowl 49 hero Malcolm Butler. Intended that time for Cooper.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Anthony Brown there on the tackle. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Wentz. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and look like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back.
Go. 20.
54. Wild Bill.
Now Wentz. He's got Fuller. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. The Eagles on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down, needing long yardage to try and pick up a first down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Check 50.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to find Gallup here complete. Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas first down. Prescott now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on first down. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Now defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Brashad Perriman, his second touchdown of the night, and the Cowboys get a bit closer.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
And the Eagles dodge a bullet. They cover it up. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And we'll see if the defense wants to stop it as they take the knee.
Let's go, D.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee.
It's a loss of a yard, bringing up 3rd and 12.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They will take a knee here and cue the celebrations. They are off to the Super Bowl. Really a great season. Not a whole lot to hang their head about.
Not at all. And, you know, the winning side, they're so ecstatic. They're going to the Super Bowl. But for the guys that we're talking about,